Now, my guest tonight hails from H-Town, baby, Houston, Texas, and has given you hits like Sitting Sideways, Break 'em Off, I'm Throwed, and my personal favorite, Swangin' in the Rain. He is also known for his very icy smile. Please welcome the very talented rapper and entrepreneur, Paul Wall, baby.
What it do, Pow Wow, baby?
I am so excited that you are here. I know we get on the call before we start, and I'm like trying to contain my excitement because it's like it's Paul Wall. So
Yeah, baby, what it do?
listen, you are H-Town up one side and down the other, like true Houston. You know what I mean? When I think about Houston, I didn't even know what swangers was. Okay, because I'm from White Plains, New York. And I was like, well, what is swanging in the rain? And then I was like, what is candy paint? Like, you have educated me so much so that I've moved to Houston now. I just love it that much.
Yeah, well, we love you. Welcome, we love you. You know we love you.
Thank you, thank you. I'm happy to have you here with me because when we thought about doing this conversation, having this topic about interracial dating, we were like, we gotta, this is a Paul Wall moment because there's a lot of hypocrisy that happens when we talk about interracial couples, right? It's like if it's a black guy with a woman of another race, black women are mad. But when we pulls us a white boy, I'm trying to tell you, Paul, we did that. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to talk to you and just find out, like you and your wife, how long have you guys been married? How did you meet?
We got together in 2003. We got married in 2015. So we going on, I guess, 16th year of marriage. It seems
Wow.
like forever. You know, we really do live like soulmates. We are soulmates. So it's like, we just counting down the calendar moments, but it's really like eternity. We met actually in Houston. I went to University of Houston. She went to Texas Southern TSU, and
Mhm.
we met at TSU. That's the first time we met on campus. And then I used to promote clubs, and one time she came to the club, and
Ah,
it was like love at first sight. There
just
she goes. There
yeah,
she goes.
beautiful. Now, how did you know that she was the one? And the reason that I ask is because have you always dated black women, or was this just a moment in time and it kind of just played out that way?
In terms of like relationships, yeah, I believe I've only dated black women. But I've had, other type of, other type of hangout. I don't want to get too vulgar on here, but I had, other relationships
I
of
got
other
you.
types. But in terms of like a boyfriend, girlfriend, or something like that, it's only been black women. But in terms of her being my soulmate and knowing that, it was just I don't know what it was. It was something I had never felt before. When I saw her and just the feelings it gave me, I knew it was special. No matter what it was, I knew it was special. From there, it was I got to do my research, and she got to do her research on me to make sure that I ain't out there too crazy. She ain't out there too crazy, or our paths haven't crossed in other ways. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. But it just was. It was just some one of them things that you could just feel it. I could feel it in my heart. I never felt that any time before, any time ever since. So I
I
just I don't know what to say other than say it was love at first sight.
No, I love that because basically what you're saying is she was one, even though you had dated other African American women and other races as well, she was the one woman that you wanted to change for. And so you were able to recognize that. Because I'm sure, being a rapper and rich and famous, it's like the world is your oyster, right? But she was the one you said, okay, I'm cutting all that out and settling down.
I kind of grew up in well, I won't say kind of. I grew up in a broken, dysfunctional home. So me having a bonding, a relationship with my partner, a lifelong bond, is something I always dreamed of having. Me being a father, a partner, a spouse, it's just something I always look forward to. So it just was of course, I was having fun. As I
Yeah.
was growing up and maturing as an adult, as a man. But sometimes I wonder because we always talk about our childhoods. We feel like, man, we would have been best friends together in our childhoods. But sometimes timing is everything. We met each other and we fell in love right at the right time in our lives when we were mature enough to handle it.
handle
Yeah.
and the
So
commitment that it takes to be honest and committed to each other. Was your family shocked when you came home and said, I'm gonna marry her though?
I don't think so, not at all. My mom and my family had got to know her, before that, and of course fell in love with her the same way I did. The first time they met her the same way I did. So it wasn't too shocking when we made the announcement that we are gonna get married. We got married on our second year anniversary, so we had already been together for 2 years.
So did you grow up in an all black neighborhood? Like were your friends mostly black? And so I'm just trying to understand, because then I'm going to dive into the topic of what we're really trying to get to. So was it
right.
environment?
I grew up in a real mixed neighborhood. It's very multicultural. It was definitely with black people in the neighborhood. Chameleon is one of my good friends. He's another rapper. We grew up together, our whole lives. There are, a lot of other black families, but there were also a lot of Hispanic families, mostly Mexican, but also other Hispanic families, and a lot of Asian families as well.
Yeah.
And so it was very multicultural. It was white families as well. And it allowed me to just experience multicultures, just in it opened me up to a lot of things. I don't know, what drew me to black women in particular, because I think throughout my childhood, my first girlfriend I ever had was black when I was in kindergarten. It was the first girl I ever had. It was my girlfriend when I was in kindergarten. And throughout my childhood years in school, girls wouldn't really talk to me at all, period, of any race.
Really?
So it was. I didn't have any girlfriends all through high school, junior high. None of that. Girls would not talk to me. So maybe I ain't had no game. I know when I look back at my pictures, I was looking, I always look a little crazy to myself when I look in the mirror. I always laugh like, man, I look crazy. So I don't know, maybe I wasn't as fly as I thought I was back then, but nah, I couldn't. Maybe, like I say, maybe whenever I was shooting my shot, it was all bricks.
Man, I'm sorry to hear that. But let me ask you this, because this is what I really want to get into. And you did it the opposite way, and that's what I'm saying. We tend to champion when a white man or a person of another race gets with a black woman. But why? Because black women have this question: why, when a black man, and I know you wouldn't have the answer because this isn't your situation, but I want to have the dialogue about it at least. When a black man becomes of a certain status in financially and in society, do they go to every other thing but a black woman? But you, being of the same status, wealthy, doing the thing, you said, no, I want a black woman. Why do you think black men can't do that?
I don't know. I mean, I just would encourage anybody out there, just follow your heart, So if your heart is somebody else of a different race or the same race, whatever it might be, I just really encourage them to follow their heart, But I think subconsciously, sometimes we all, it's just how it's put out there by the movies a lot of time, or by music. Sometimes, these are things that, I don't think about when you're just making music in the studio, but then when you're actually shooting the videos and then you see the video, you're like, sometimes it might be pointed out, hey, how come it's only light-skinned girls in the video, or something like that. So it's just one of those things that just culturally, I don't know if it's just America or if it's worldwide. To me, it seems like it's kind of global, where just they try to whitewash everything. Where they'll have movies in Africa and it'll be white people with doing blackface, basically with dark tans. Yes. Instead of just having actors from that place to represent,
the role.
So I don't know if that's something subconsciously to get put on whoever, but I don't know. It was just, I couldn't deny it. The feeling I had with my wife, I couldn't deny it, no matter what race she was.
You just knew. But I was thinking about like Meghan Markle, right? And she was saying like the Queen and everybody. You saw the interview, I'm sure, at least heard about it, that they were concerned about her children being biracial. Did you and Crystal have those conversations or thoughts about it? Because it's a hard life, right? It's a hard life being black, depending on where you at. White folks have their issues, and then now you have a biracial kid, and I hear a lot of biracial children like, I ain't black enough for them, and I ain't white enough for them, so they tend to have some issues. Did you guys think about that? And how did you with your children?
Yeah, we did think about, some of what they might face, only just in terms of our concerns, or maybe like in terms of us educating ourselves on how we can prepare ourselves and them for what they might face growing up. You know, and my wife and me, we both experienced racism throughout, whether it be, you know, I remember when I was 17 years old going to University of Houston, I was in the Galleria on a date with a girl ice skating, and a white boy spit on me from the side just on some, you know, racist stuff. And you know, so these are things that, you know, we both experienced. She as well has experienced racial type of things in the past. You know, so it's things that are on your mind. You don't want them to have the things you've grown up with or got to see. But we've also known a lot of people who were biracial, and knowing many biracial people, they come in a lot of different colors, you know, the hair textures, just everything. So sometimes, you know, you might think, you know, I wonder how our kids gonna look. Are they gonna be, you know, dark? And so we can have two kids and one of them be a little lighter than the other, darker than the other. But my kids definitely, I don't want to speak for them, but in their parents, and I definitely can tell you, they have experienced that. Where some people judge them, they're not black enough. Some people judge them, they're not white enough. And to some people, they're too black. To some people, they're too white. And you know, whatever it might be for them, I just try to encourage them to be themselves and to encourage my kids to know that, man, people sometimes are ignorant and they don't know better, and that don't excuse it, but it does sometimes explain it.
Right. So you've had the conversations with them to say it's not you. Pretty much, it's not you. It's them. And some people are just ignorant, and you just gotta love yourself no matter what.
Yes, the world is like so hypocritical. Where, you know, you meet somebody that hate. I go through this all the time as a diverse artist, where my music comes in a lot of different, you know, subgenres within myself. So if I make a song about girls, you know, the street people hate it. If I make a song about cars, you know, the girls hate it. You know, so it's one of those things where you try to find balance. And you know, sometimes if I'm cussing too much, then the parents hate it, and if I'm not cussing enough, then the streets hate it. So you just gotta kind of find balance. But that just reveals to me that we're just hypocritical, and people are different because from their perception of how they were raised or how they live, they see it through their lens. I try to have patience with people. My wife, sometimes she might have a little less patience than me, but that's the yin and the yang, where we balance each other out even within that. But people, you know, like I said, my people will judge my kids. They go through it all the time where, you know, my kids aren't on social media, but still being it, you know, we're famous. A lot of people feel like they know them, you know, because I might post about my kids. My wife might post about my kids. So people feel like they know them. So my daughter gets offended when people call her by her family nickname. You know, in the free world, the real world, yeah, they call her by her family nickname. She like, hold on, you don't know me, don't call me that. Why you calling me that? So yeah, she gets.
Yo, I'm loving this. When we return, we're talking more about the myths of interracial relationships with H-Town's finest, Paul Wall. We'll be right back after this. Let's get into it with Tami Roman. Welcome back to Get Into It. I am Tami Roman. And listen, if you missed the top of this interview, you need to be shamed, because I am chatting. Guess who is in the building? Mr. Paul Wall, baby. And we're getting into some real conversation too. Listen, before the break, we were talking about the interracial relationships and the hypocrisy of those things. What I want to ask you right now is, with the current climate of the world and what's happening on with so many racial injustices, how is your household handling that? Because sometimes stuff like this that's going on in the world, you can have difference of opinion and difference of views, and now you arguing in your house about some stuff that's happening up the block. How are you guys handling
that? Thankfully for our household, we kind of tend to agree on most of the views. So like politically, those type of things, we usually on the same page. Now we both are fans, me and my wife were both fans of entertainment conspiracy theories. I want to say that, you know, I want to tiptoe. We like all the conspiracy theories out there. We don't believe all conspiracy theories, but we like to listen to the crazy stuff people say sometimes. You know, just it's entertaining to us. But sometimes when you're watching them conspiracy theories, you start brainwashing yourself, and you're like, wait a minute, is this?
Husband does the exact same thing. And I finally had to say, I'm not doing this with you no more, because you're going to have me looking at everybody I come across sideways. I'm like, you're going to have me thinking the world is more effed up than I already think it is. You know? So, yeah.
Other than that, we really been focusing on patience and just breathing. You know, we get so worked up, and especially being at home for a year, it feels kind of like you're grounded. You know what I'm saying? You can't go out. When you go out, you can't do nothing, and even when you're inside the house, you can't do nothing. Is, you know, kind of, you know, minimal options of what you can do. You feel trapped sometimes, and it just all the minor pressures start to build up into major pressures, and they just kind of boil over. So we just really been focusing on just breathing and having patience through it all. And a lot of times, you know, we might understand an issue or know an issue, but the person you're talking to might not understand the issue. So you got to have patience with them so that, you know, sometimes we lose our patience, but, you know, I found that when I have that patience and I try to just have patience with somebody, just because they disagree with me on something don't mean I got to hate them. I might hate what we disagree about, and I really might deep down want to hate this person, but I just know in my heart, you know, that I got to, you know, try to educate them and show them it's not, you know, you're misguided, you're misinformed.
Yeah, educate and try as best we can to live in love, because we're finding out that life is too short. And one thing COVID did teach us is that, like you said, when you got to be locked up in the house with your significant other and or your family or extended family, it's like you learn what's important. You know what I mean? You really come to the realization that everything that's happening outside in the world, like this is my real bubble, and this is what I really need to try to honor and respect. I want to ask you this: what romantic things did you do for Crystal while you guys was locked up in COVID? What did Paul Wall pull out his bag of tricks to make his wife okay while she's sitting in the house for a year?
Well, we love to cook. My wife loves to cook. Her and her sister, they love to cook. Shout out to Courtney, Coco's Kitchen. So I bought my wife. We got a big fire grill. We got I'm talking about, man. This grill is like a $10,000 barbecue pit. It's crazy, but it's one of them things that's gonna last us a lifetime. Where we're gonna pass it down to our kids. You know, barbecue is big in Texas, and it's one of those. This is one of those things that we used to do as a family. Before our father passed away, it was something, a tradition he taught me, and, you know, just something we keep alive. But when he passed away, it's something we kind of stopped doing. So when COVID came back, it was one of those things. Well, let's get this pit fired up.
Yeah. I love it. Listen,
I know it's not like traditional romance, you know, but for us, we're a little different. You know what I'm saying? We're not really like to go on dates type. We do that, but this is like how we get down.
Yeah, no, I like a good cue. Now we ain't got no 10,000 grill. We got that little round one from Walmart. It's about 46
smoky.
With that smoky, but my husband gets down on that thing. So I feel you now, you know. So, but I do want to thank you for coming through, and I just want to say that I wish you and Crystal so much love and peace and happiness, and your entire family. And here again, I know that I'm loving so much on you, because I'm just like, Crystal, you did that. You did that, sis. You know, and I'm going to have to find me another fella to talk to figure out why when they make it, they goes on off and get something else. Even though I stand on the thought process of loving who you love, and whoever that turns out to be, it is what it is. But I still feel there's some thought process that goes into that. And I'm going to get to the bottom of it, but it don't pertain to you. But I do want to ask you this while we shift gears before I let you go. What have you been up to lately? What you got going on? Let the people know what Paul Wall's into these days.
I've been working on a lot of music. I've been putting it out independent, just doing what I love to do, the type of music I love to make. Not too long ago, I released something called Subculture, and I'm working on something right now called Hall of Fame Hustlers. This is going to be coming out real soon. So if you check for that music, it's coming.
Hall of Fame Hustlers.
You know it. And you know I've been selling grills, too. You know me and my boy Johnny Dang. You know we got you. You know we got you, sis.
And I do be seeing, I be on the Instagram, and I said, look at Paul Wall, I got another damn grill.
This is my COVID grill I'm wearing right now.
I like it. Now, I want people watching to hear how you started this custom grill business, because I just feel it's inspiring. Before we get out of here, how did you do that?
I was always taught, you know, if you want to go into business, do something you love, not something that's just financially positive for you. And, you know, it started for me. I just wanted grills. I wanted to get some. I couldn't afford them. It was somebody selling them in my neighborhood. He came down from New York. He brought the removable style. His name's Crime. And before that, all the grills we had in Texas basically would you go to the dentist or the hood dentist and then you get them put in permanently. Well, he brought the New York style, the removable kind, and we wanted them. I couldn't afford them, so I worked for him. I said, man, let me work these grills out. Matter of fact, I'm gonna buy it. Just give me the wholesale price.
Wow.
And I did street promotions at the time. I passed out flyers. I brought him so much business. He was like, hey, you got to work for me. I got to hire you. And that's really how it started. And eventually he introduced me to TV Johnny Dang. And that's when we really just took it to another level. And it really was
part of the group with Travis Barker and them too.
Yep. Yeah. Shout out to my boy Travis Barker. We got a group called Expensive Taste.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I want to play a little game with you that I like to play with all my guests. It's called Tami's Fast Five.
Okay.
So I'm ask you 5 questions, and you be as long or as short as you need to be to give me the answer to this question.
Okay.
If a movie was made of your life, who would play you?
Oh, I gotta say O'Shea Jr.
Okay. Now, why O'Shea?
He's one of my favorite actors, especially of this generation. The Den, I love the Den. Oh man, boy! Every movie I see him in, he going off. I don't know if my movie would be an action movie, you know what I'm saying? But you know, he's one of my favorite actors, so I think it would be O'Shea Jackson Jr.
All right, we're gonna take it. If you had to,
if not him, then maybe Jonah Hill.
Okay, Jonah, yeah, because I think he could do it justice too.
And he used to be a big boy like me. Then he lost weight too. So you know what I'm saying. Me and him both, we fat and we skinny.
I can't. Now, if you had to delete all but 3 apps from your smartphone, which would be the 3 that you keep?
You can delete all of them for all I care. You can have it. I don't want none of them. All I would want is maybe my FaceTime so I could, you know what I'm saying, talk to my family when I'm out of town or something. And then in really actuality, you know, the Notes app, I do a lot on the Notes app. I mean, maybe the MLB app so I can watch the Astros play or something.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. Man, you can have it. You know,
with the social media.
Hey, I'm the type of person to leave my phone at home on purpose. You know, I'm an in the moment type of person where I'm taking mental pictures of everything going on, and I love taking pictures. So anyway, take a picture. Yep, I got you. But I'm hardly ever the one that's, hey, let's take a picture just because I'm in the moment.
Now, let me tell you what I love that you just said, and I feel like it's so powerful, and I hope people caught it and catch it and take it with them. You said, I take mental pictures because I'm enjoying the moment. And so many of us stay on our phones that we're missing all the stuff that's happening around us. So I hope y'all out there really caught that, because that is valuable. Y'all gotta start enjoying the present that you're in and taking in that shit. I'm gonna start leaving my damn phone home. I'm gonna say Paul Wall has said that I need to leave my phone home so I can be present. Okay, will you ever retire from rapping?
I hope not. It's something I've loved almost my entire life. As soon as I was introduced to hip hop, I fell in love with it. So I don't intend to. I plan on being Willie Nelson. You know how in hip hop, it wasn't around forever. So it's only been around for so long. So there's not a lot of 70, 80-year-old hip hop artists, especially that are touring or still continuing to put out music. We have some like Snoop. He's one of the GOATs that continue to be a GOAT, as time goes on. Even Nas, who recently won a Grammy last year for Rap Album of the Year. So they're both lifelong career artists that I look to for, guidance to see how they've managed, how they continue to be themselves as they've evolved into adulthood and just, in parenthood. All of those things, you see that evolve through their music, but they always have stayed true to who they are. You see artists build their brands up. So I tend to do all of that. I'm trying to be, like I say, Willie Nelson. I'm going to be Wally Nelson.
And we'll still be listening. What is something you've always wanted to do that you haven't done yet?
Oh, man, it's anything I've asked God for, I've been blessed with, and there hasn't been too many things that I've asked God for. but I've always wanted to go to Japan. You know, I know that's a maybe not a, you know, because anybody, all you gotta do is buy a plane ticket. You can go to Japan.
Right.
But
But
you know,
no, that's a long flight. And see, I'm scared to fly. So it would take me some time to get to Japan. I got to make 5, 6 stops other little countries, get my nerve together, and then continue. You know. So yeah,
yeah,
it's
I think maybe if something I haven't done yet that I would like to do is just continue to be a good parent, good father, raise my kids. You know, those would make my mama proud. You know, because that's a progress. That's a work in progress. You know, that's one of those things where it only take one time to mess up, and it could be a huge mess up. So you got to, you know, it's something that you got to be dedicated to, and constantly trying to better yourself. So hopefully I'm making them proud.
No, you making them proud. This is my last thing I want to ask you. I watched Triller. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but they do a lot of like the boxing matches, and then they have a concert kind of attached to it. We've seen Triller do the West Coast thing so many times. Last time they had Snoop and Cube and E40. If Triller came to H-Town, who's gonna be on that stage with Paul Wall?
My boy Slim Thug gonna be there with me. Maybe my boy Zero, little Kiki, bring Mike Jones. We're gonna do Still Tipping all together. Maybe we can get Travis Scott, Toby Nwigwe. Oh, we ready? Sauce Walker. We're going.
Okay, Triller. Look, y'all better get that going because that H-Town lineup sound kind of hot.
Yeah, and if they got their budget together, we're gonna get Megan Thee Stallion. We're gonna get her up in there. Maybe Travis Scott, Don Toliver. Oh, we ready. We ready. Hey, but don't have me boxing. I'm not getting knocked out on Triller. Oh no, you're not gonna see me sleeping. No.
Yeah, you're gonna leave that alone. All right, y'all. Paul Wall, I want to thank you so much for joining me tonight. I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation. Tell Crystal and the family I said hello. I enjoyed our talk on interracial relationships. Thank you so much for being transparent. And where can people find you and follow you? I don't know because you don't do social medias that much, but I feel like you got an Instagram. Where can they follow you?
Yeah, if you're looking for me, I'm on the corner of Robin Street now. Yeah, hit me up at Paul Wall Baby. Paul Wall Baby. That's where you can check me out on all social media platforms. Unless you're on TikTok, I'm Paul Wall 713. Oh, let's get it.
There it is. You heard it here first, people. Now stick around because I received a video from a 39-year-old woman who can't find a good man anywhere. Ask Tami is up next. But oh my God, my day has been made. Paul Wall was in the building and I'm so excited. It's H-Town, baby. This is Get Into It with Tami Roman.